Welcome everybody to another edition of This Week in Pioneer Soccer. I'm Kiko Blankenship alongside with head coach Jamie Franks. Jamie, how you doing today, man?
Thanks for having me, Nick. I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the spring first. You guys are about a month into training ahead of the 2022 season. What have you liked so far from this group this spring?
Yeah, just like ambition. There's a clear-cut ambition every day. You can feel it from their energy. You can feel it from their level of focus, their attention to detail. With that sort of mentality, with that sort of performance environment, it's a lot easier to teach because you have individuals that are willing to learn, eager to ask questions. And so for us, we've just been moving at a very, very, fast pace.
An NCAA tournament went a year ago. Talk about what you see these teams' strengths are in 2022.
Just getting a little bit more back to our identity, which is a possession-based brand. We want to play through the lines. We have so many good technical players, so many smart tactical players. So playing to our strengths. And I just thought the past couple of years, we got away from that a little bit. And I think, watching two games and watching, all 25 student athletes compete, this spring, it's been really evident that no matter who we put out there, there is a brand, there is a principle of play that is, embedded in Denver soccer right now. So that's a good thing.
A lot of chances produced last year, but maybe the finishing touch just wasn't there in some of the games last year. What do you see as the primary challenges for this team this year?
Yeah, no, I think, it's one of the biggest challenges of being a forward and being an attacking player is that it goes in ebbs and flows. And unfortunately for us, some of our attacking guys just had a little bit of run of bad form or bad luck, or, even some of the conditions, that we played in were tough, high winds, long grass, all those type of things are not conducive to attacking play. And so, I think the biggest thing that we see is just that we're generating chances in a multitude of fashions, whether that's countering, whether that's free kicks, whether that's in possession play, whether that's repress. The way that we're generating chances is coming from, a variety of our processes. And so that's really good because, it's not just one thing that's working that's generating us our chances.
A pair of trophies last year, and as I mentioned before, a trip to the second round of the NCAA tournament. What do you see as the greatest opportunity for improvement here in 2022?
You go in the NCAA tournament with only 3 losses. It's tough to take it on the chin that you got to go play the 11th ranked team in the country and then the 7th or 6th ranked team in the country. There's no secret that when we lost to Gonzaga, we dropped 30 spots in the RPI. You lose to Omaha and you drop even more spots. I think you dropped 42. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. And both of those games, the actual performance was okay. Now the results weren't okay, but the performances were decent. And I just think as a group, we had to learn a tough lesson that the margins are everywhere. And that every game, the goal differential matters. Every game, the result, it matters. And no matter what the staff says, I think for student athletes to experience that firsthand and to see, if you don't lose that Omaha game, we're still ranked in the top 20 in the country. That changes then first round buys, first home games, But so for us, it's those last games, those knockout football games, you do everything every day, even now, to prepare yourself for that. And I just think the main takeaway from the group is just the margins and the details matter every day. And we've been steadfast in that belief. And I think because we've really have focused in on our processes even more, there's been more growth. There's been more challenges, no doubt. But we are very, very focused on certain aspects of our system of play right now.
Yeah. Who are a few players that you think the fans should keep their eye on here in 2022? And the offensive half first is where we'll start.
Yeah, no, I think, Kengo Ohira, he leads the line, his technical ability, his ability to finish. He's a natural goal scorer. He just makes us better when the ball's at his feet. Lucas Fisher, his ability to play in between the lines, his ability to bring other players into play, and most of all, his ability to get his shot and cross off makes him dangerous at all times. So Griffin Meyer, he does it off pace and power, and his adjustment last year coming from CC, it's just hard to jump into the Division One, and I thought as he got more comfortable, as he got more confident, he realized that, man, he really is a top attacker. We've got OJE. OJE just brings a sort of athleticism, a sort of hold up play that brings our midfielders into play. It's also just really difficult to press us when he's in the game, because if you leave him 1v1 in the back, that's a matchup that we like. But between, those three guys kind of leading the line, then you've got Stewie De Leon. He's been around for so long. He understands the system. He's such a hard worker. He does everything off of his grit, off of his mentality. He really sets the tone for us up there. And then you've got some guys underneath, that are, really growing in their game, their ability to score goals, their ability to create goals. But Sam Bassett, Aiden O'Toole, these are guys that have really kind of figured out, how to get their shot off, how to make sure that they're arriving at the box at the right time. But for us, the attack is more about our processes and more about being industrious, and more about playing probability. And so for us, it's by committee. And, we're going to need everybody to chip in goals. And, I think, obviously, I highlighted a few guys, but there's so many guys that, have to play a part for us to be successful in the attacking part of the field.
On the other side of the field, who do you like in the back for your team here in 2022?
Yeah, no, I think, being a top defense last year, all season, we were stout defensively, and it put us in positions, to win a lot of games. And I think going into the tournament, you've got 10, 11 wins, and you wish that, those 5 ties, you could have leaked some sort of goal somehow, and all of a sudden your record is 15-2. That's a lot different than what our record was. But our defense had kept us in a lot of games last year, and guys like Trevor Wright, Liam Johnson, Ronan Wynn, Jake Meekum, Jason Violi, Lucas Russo, Eli Marinus, these are guys that now have a lot of experience, have played in some big venues, have played in some big environments. And so the expectations are really high with those guys. But for us, it's about, those guys advancing their game. We know we can play mid block. We feel comfortable, in that sort of schematic, but for us, it's about pushing the game a little bit more and asking those defenders to also attack and to, start to play through the lines a little bit more, try to play a little bit higher of a line. And so even though we kind of bring back everybody defensively, we're asking them to do some things that hopefully is improving our system of play and hopefully improving them as individuals.
Let's talk about the new staff this year. You got Hisaki Hemi departs and takes the New Mexico United associate job out there. You elevate Brad, your brother, to the associate head coach job. Jose comes over from ops and is now in the assistant role, and Angelo is the new director of ops. So just kind of talk about those three.
Yeah, no, listen, Brad's known me my whole life, and we're teachers, and the belief that we're just using soccer as a vehicle to teach these important character skills, to develop people. If that's your kind of main goal and that's what you think your job is, you approach every day a little bit differently. And I think, for Brad, he's been in the game for 15 years. He's been at Wake Forest. He's been at High Point. He's been at Elon. He's been at App State. He's been everything. He's been video specialist. He's been volunteer. He's been assistant 1. He's been assistant 2. He's been an associate head coach. He's just been around the block, and his player management has been very good. It's very direct. But for us to develop people, you need people, you need the staff to believe that that's what our job is. And at the core, he loves his job, and it's just been such a he's had such an attitude of gratitude after what happened to him at App State, the program got cut there and they had tons of success. They were a top 40 program, and to get cut, he went in the real world, and to come back, you just have this sense of like happiness. You have this sense of no matter what the job is, he doesn't really care because he's coaching soccer and he's back. And that's felt throughout the guys, that sort of positivity is contagious. And so it's just been great to work alongside of him. Everybody always asks me if we fight. It's like, I'm the older brother, so we win. Like we don't fight because I win the fight. No, but it's just like we really haven't. And, if anything, he knows when to challenge me, and he knows like if I miscommunicated something. So it's just been great, to be honest. It's been like the joy for me to coach with him. And, we hope that that he stays here at the University of Denver for a very long time, because our, the community definitely benefits from it.
And then Jose really served a great role in the director of ops role here the last 2 seasons. And now moves over to that assistant 2 role. Just talk about what he brings to the program in that new role.
Yeah, no, I've known Jose now for 10 years, and he built LCC to be a powerhouse. And to do that, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And I've been trying to get him to jump up to the Division I level for a couple years now. And about 2 years ago, he was finally ready. And I think most guys who have had as much success as he had would kind of like shake their head if they were asked to be the director of ops, and he didn't. He literally just hit the ground running and did everything that we needed him to do. And I think, being in that position myself, as a young coach, it's the way that you approach every day. Yes, you can't coach, and yes, there are some restrictions on what you can and what you can't do, but you are treated as an assistant, and the way that you approach every day, the way that he was able to kind of make an impact with the student athletes, with not being able to really coach them, it just showed me that he was ready. He was ready for this opportunity. And so, although we were sad that Masaki left, very happy for him. He got an unbelievable job offer, and it's in his hometown. And so we're super happy. But it was also just a complete no-brainer that Jose was the guy. We didn't even really miss a beat, because Jose just kind of elevated. And I think moving forward, he's got to make sure that he is using these positive relationships that he's formed with these guys to his benefit. And he's being outspoken, and he's being proactive with his management, because he's a relationships guy. He's been at like every basketball, every sporting event here in the community. Everybody that knows him loves him. He is an absolute grinder. He sets the tone for our work ethic as a staff. And just really excited for him to kind of be able to coach the guys, because I think it's something that he deserved. And it was obvious, like over 2 years of not doing it, that he was ready. So I love that guy. His values are just the best. And, I really just couldn't have asked for a better person.
Agree 100%. There's been some Saturday afternoons where I thought I'm the only one on the floor. And then here comes Jose around the corner, and he's everywhere. He's everywhere. It's great.
Yeah. I think for Angelo, Brad knew Angelo, working at their old company together. And, for Angelo, he's getting into college athletics for all of the right reasons. He wants to be close to the student athletes. And so for us and Angelo, it's more about figuring out exactly what he wants to do. Is it coaching? Is in 2 years, in 3 years, is he going to be trying to get an assistant job? Or is it something that he really wants to be in college athletics, and he wants to be in some sort of operations event, admin? He has that skill set. And I think when you've got a director of ops who approaches the job the way that Angelo does, you're just going to get a lot of work out from him every day. And he's already made us better. He's already refined some of our processes. He's made us more organized. So that's just been awesome. And I think as he gets more comfortable, I think sharing his opinions, on the soccer side of things, and he gets more comfortable understanding system of play, we're just going to ask him his opinions a little bit more. And so, from top to bottom, we just felt that our job as teachers, our job is to kind of use soccer just as a microcosm to teach these important character skills. And so to do that, you need student athletes. You need guys that all played were student athletes themselves and then have grown into these roles. And it's just really unique. All of our backgrounds are very diverse. And so the DNA of the staff is great. We're really excited about it. And, we just got to keep focusing on, how do we make sure that we're putting out, we're putting our best foot forward every day.
Two more for you. The first, we'll start with the Alumni Golf Outing coming up. Spring is here. The weather's beautiful. Talk about the updates for that golf outing that's coming up.
Yeah, no, I think I've said this on some of the, these other calls, but, since the pandemic started, Denver soccer has felt love from all the alumni. I think people have started to reprioritize, and Denver soccer was important to a lot of people. It changed a lot of people's lives. It gave them a great opportunity to obviously be a student athlete here. And I think from that sacrifice and commitment they made as athletes here at Denver, they want to give back and they want to leave the program better than the one they founded. And the golf outing is a way that for us is, a one-time event every year that we know that we're going to be able to bring people back to our community, back to this area, share some laughs, share some drinks, share some food, and just really kind of give an update of where the program is at and ultimately what we need from our alumni moving forward. But, the goal of the fundraiser is to, try to pick up our operating tab every year, which is about $300,000. And if we could do that, then we just have much more flexibility with what we can do with the student athletes, the type of resources that we have with the student athletes. So we're asking our alumni to sponsor holes. We're going to have, I think, a high participation in the golf tournament itself, but we're really looking for certain individuals to kind of step up and sponsor holes. And we hope that it's businesses. We hope that it's, more corporate type things to do that. But at the same time, we're really just looking for an event, a weekend where we can all get back together and, we can celebrate how far the program has come. It's been such a fun past decade, being part of Denver soccer. And I think from listening to what the alumni say, to seeing how engaged they want to be, this is just kind of the start of it. There's some really fun things that we can do with stadium renovations. There's some fun things that we can do with scheduling. There's some fun things that we can do just with the day-to-day operations of the program. And we need their support. And, I'm just really, really excited that we finally got an event every year that we can kind of really look forward to and everybody can put on the calendars.
Should be a lot of fun to have everybody back on campus. I didn't let you know that this one was coming, but Champions League today, Champions League tomorrow, and a Premier League title fight on Sunday. Who you got? Man City, Liverpool.
Man, that's tough. I'm a Tottenham fan, but I root for City. So I'm going to be rooting for City, although I do think that Liverpool has had some forwards that are scoring some good goals right now. So it's all about your run of form. It's all about the margins in that game. And, it's just anybody that knows me knows that this is easily the best time of the year for soccer. Champions League to me is a coach's work and is a team's work together for 10 months. And then these are the absolute best teams in the world playing each other over two legs. It just doesn't get much better than that. So got to make sure our work gets done when the soccer games are on in the afternoons here in the soccer office.
Well, Jimmy, I appreciate your time today. Thanks for getting on, and we'll make sure that Stu Holsel doesn't hear your prediction for Man City, Liverpool.
I forgot that. Can I change my answer now that my boss is a Liverpool? I'm rooting for Liverpool still. So thank you.
All right, Jamie, take care.
Take care.